Hi, xin chào mọi người. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel SuckersForLife. Today I'm going to be using English instead of Vietnamese just to spice it up a little bit. Nếu bạn là người Việt và không có hiểu tiếng Anh rành lắm thì cũng đừng có lo, bởi vì mình có làm phụ đề tiếng Việt ở phía dưới. So, if you have been to this channel before, you probably noticed that I didn't post any videos in the last few weeks, well, actually a bit more than a month now, and I want to sincerely apologize to everyone about that. I got caught up with work and later got quite sick because of COVID. Lucky enough for me, it was more like a really bad flu. I didn't lose my sense of taste or smell, didn't have problem with breathing or coughing. I just got really high fever for a few days and a lot of sweating after that. And now I'm fully recovered, so I hope that everyone will stay safe and be safe, and that this crazy pandemic will be over soon so we can finally have our life back. But yeah, let's get back to the content of this video. Oh, by the way, please ignore the background. I know it looks a little bit messy and out of place because I'm working on renovating the place, so please ignore it. Okay, the content. You probably so far have wondered, how could we possibly have any future together knowing that we live very different lives? One in Japan, one in Holland, one from Vietnam, one from America. And to be honest, when I was in Okinawa, I questioned the same thing. And today in this video, I'm gonna try to give you a hint about what would happen to us after I leave Japan. But before doing that, I'm gonna quickly recap previous episodes, especially for the new joiners to this channel, so that you guys understand what I'm talking about. So if you are new, please consider subscribing to the channel, or if you have been here before but haven't subscribed yet, please also consider to do that to support me and also to stay tuned to when I upload the next video. So this is for you. I went to Japan to work for half a year for March 2020. During a solo trip to Okinawa Island for a holiday in early May, I was helped by an American soldier. At first, I thought that he was just a friendly, straight guy who liked helping others. But we then quickly fell in love, and our adventure began, starting with me aborting my flight back to Tokyo. Of course, we did get into some dramas, but all of that eventually would just help us appreciate each other even more. Like that time he got caught speeding at 140 km an hour to help me check in at a hotel in town, or that first time we got so mad at each other on a remote island that we didn't speak to each other for a whole day. Do you guys still remember that first car ride that we were alone and we talked about the marriage topic? I think I talked about it in episode 3 or 4. So if you are new, again, please go back to those episodes because it's quite a funny one, I think. So beside that marriage topic, we also talked about our hopes and dreams, and that was when he shared with me that one of his dreams was to have a sustainable farm that does not only support his own living but also produces enough food, green and seasonal sustainable food for his community. And he also dreams about building his own houses. And when I first heard that, I immediately got so happy and surprised as well, because that was for the first time I met someone that shared the exact same vision that I have. Because I mean, I'm a guy with a master's degree in biomedical science who has a good job at a financial company. No one would expect me to be a farmer, and especially my parents, I would say. The thing is that I'm from a manual labor household, and my parents, they didn't get access to higher education, and the reason why they have worked so hard their entire life is to be able to send me and my sister to school so that we can have access to white collar jobs. And now that I'm here, I'm trying to go back to being a farmer and to expose my back to the sun all day out, having my hands dirty all the time. That does sound a little bit illogical to a lot of people and also to my parents, but actually for me, after being in the corporate scene for the last 3-4 years, I realized for myself that this is not something I want to do for the rest of my life. I want to get out of the confinement of the corporate life, 9 to 5, and want to be more in charge of my own life and my own wealth, and actually also to positively contribute to the environment through practicing permaculture and knowing what I'm putting into my body through food. To me, being rich is not about how much money you have in your bank account, but it's about the amount of time that you would have to spend on the things that you love in life, to do your hobbies, to spend times with, and to spend with the people you love in your life. And if being a farmer and having a bit less money means that I would have more time to do the things I like, then I'm more than happy being a farmer and get my hand dirty days in, days out. When we first met, he was in a crossroad of his career. His contract to work in Japan was about to end in a year's time, and he really needed to make a decision on what he would want to do next. So his options were getting out the army or staying in the army. And if he stayed in the army, he would want to commit to this as a long-term career and try to stay in the army as long as possible and eventually reach retirement. And if he decided to go down that path, then he could either stay in Okinawa for another 3 years, or he could move to Germany. And that would actually mean that he would be a lot closer to his relatives, because his father is from Croatia and his mom is from Bosnia. When we met, his office was already doing the paperwork for him to secure a contract for him to move to Germany. But he himself was still doubting it a little bit, because he, after 2.5 years by that time, he already fell in love with the island, and I have no doubt about it. After only a few days on the island, I already fell in love with the island, irrespective of my love for him. The island itself is beautiful, and I'm pretty sure anyone who had a chance to go to Okinawa and actually spend time seeing different sides of the island and not just the touristic parts of the island, they would also fall in love with this island. Later on, during my 2 months in Okinawa, he also mentioned to me that if his application for a job in Germany got approved, then he would try his best to travel to the Netherlands once every 2 weeks in a weekend to visit me. And he could also try to convince the army to let him live off base, so that every time I come over to visit him, I wouldn't have to go to a hostel or an Airbnb. And I also told him that with this whole pandemic going on like this, I actually don't have to go to the office very often. And if he would be able to get a place outside of base, then if I come to visit him, I could also stay for a few weeks at a time and work from his place. Doing a long distance relationship between Germany and Netherlands, that thought was quite scary in itself, but at the same time very exciting. I mean, I would get to live in two countries at the same time, and Germany is a country, even though it's next to the Netherlands, and I have been in here for a bit more than 9 years now, but I haven't actually seen that much of Germany. So the thought of doing a long distance relationship with someone who lives in Germany also was quite appealing, despite the amount of traveling that we would be doing. So yeah, that's what I had in mind about our future after I leave Japan when I was in Okinawa. Scary, quite a lot of uncertainties, but at least it gave me much better hope about our future. There's actually one more thing that I didn't share with you yet. Actually, the discussion about what would happen to the two of us after I leave Japan didn't exactly end at him moving to Germany and us having a long distance relationship between the Netherlands and Germany. It actually took a very different turn, and that had a very big impact on the outcome of our relationship. So if you want to find out what exactly happened to our relationship after I leave Japan, then please consider subscribing to my channel to stay tuned for the next video. And if you like this video, don't be stingy, give it a thumb up so that this video can reach a lot bigger audience so that I can spread more positivity into this world, especially during this COVID craziness. Everyone needs a bit of love, everyone needs a bit of positivity, so please help me to do so. For now, bye bye and stay safe everyone.